today we are going to be painting this mini backpack here. The weather's been doing some fun stuff today, and it's really great. Anyway, we're painting this mini backpack. I bought this at Hobby Lobby for $10, and we're gonna paint it. Let's just get painting.
So here is the backpack. It's rather roomy on the inside, but there are no pockets there. But there is this one on the outside. I am bringing in an abundance of plastic bags. For what purpose? To shove them inside of the backpack, of course. I wanted a flat, somewhat sturdy area to work with because I wasn't really in the mood to deal with wrinkles and strange perspectives and parts of the backpack being wonky. Now that it's all nice and puffy, I'm going to bring in my pencil and begin roughly sketching in my idea. I struggled for a long while with an idea for this. I wanted to take advantage of the space, but there was so much of it, and I didn't want to put something weird and tacky on it. Bringing in my paint, I'm just sticking the brush straight into the container. Alright. I realized that wasn't gonna work because why would it? So I brought in my crusty palette and poured the paint into it, which was much more convenient, except for its placement. That wasn't convenient apparently. Now we can start. Black is a very bold color for someone who tends to use softer, more pastel colors, although I do like my touches of darkness. Most of this backpack ends up being black. I don't regret using black, but I find it strange to see myself using a lot of it. I love this paint. It's fantastic. It's bold and easy to work with. I also like how it soaks more into the fabric than just sits on it, I guess. But this is also the annoying part of using this paint. You know how a little goes a long way? Not with this paint. One stroke and bam, suddenly all the paint on my brush is gone. Doing a base coat is probably a good idea, but that's just using more paint than I feel like is necessary. I complain about the paint, but really, it's good paint and I'm still gonna use it. Going back to the design of the backpack. At this point, you can sort of see the design taking shape. I'm also moving on to the next color. And if you haven't already guessed, it's literally a bunch of lines and shapes and stuff. I like my shapes. I'm taking geometry in school, and honestly, I find it quite strange to say that I actually like math. Okay, fun little story time. I guess I was just tired or bored, or honestly both. And I took the shapes in the geometry problems and I made little strange creatures. I took pictures of these because I was planning on redrawing them, but better, and I never did. I should do that. Each color that I painted on this backpack took about 3 or 4 coats of paint, except for the black since it is a very dark color. But I later added orange, and for some reason that didn't take nearly as many coats as this purple did. I think the purple took about 5 coats? It was just deciding to be patchy for no reason, so I had to continue to layer it with color. I only show me doing 1 coat on each of these colors because I wouldn't want to make you suffer by watching the same thing over and over again 4 times, because that would be really boring. And here is the finished purple sections. Personally, I think black and purple look really good together. It's just delicious.
Ah!
Then I just exclaimed for no reason. For this next color, I'm not going to be pulling it straight from the bottle. I'm going to mix some teal, some white, that's for some reason really goopy, and this dark green. Mix it up to get this shamrock color? Anyway, we're using it. I like using the actual name for colors instead of using an umbrella term, but most of the time I don't even know the name of the color. I literally looked up hues of green and found shamrock, which looked close enough to the color that I mixed up here. I'm not very good with color names. But my knowledge of colors aside, I honestly can't get over how good these colors look together. How in the heck did I manage that? I have no idea, but I like it, and will not complain. There is a palette to my left with dried paint on it, and I got very sidetracked and started peeling off the dried paint. And so I have a ball of dried up paint in my hands now. Why did I sound like such a robot? So I told my dad that I was doing a voiceover so he would know not to burn the house down and make a lot of noise, and he was like, what if I were to say a few things in your voiceover? Should I let him have this kind of power? At this point, I'm seriously running out of things to say, so music. Here we are, ignore my swollen hand. All of the colors are blocked in, and now it's time to complete the very daunting task of outlining it. I'm very scared of screwing this up, so I'm moving very slow and carefully, because I'm scared. So let's speed that up so you don't have to sit through the agonizing slowness. But I do. Well, did, because this has already happened. The backpack is sitting right over there. While we're doing this, we're going to go back to the monstrosity that is my hand. It might actually be a monster because it's so big. The week that I was filming this video, I was having strange swelling issues with parts of my limbs. First, it was my hand, then my ankle, then my knee, then the bottom of my foot, then my hand. Again. Do I have any idea what it was? No, I do not. Then I realized that in the corner, the lines were not at the same degree, so I tried to fix that. The line is thick, so there you go. Now, the sides of the backpack are looking a little bare, and how do we fix that? Paint. So on one side, I just took some black paint and blocked it in, keeping it between the line on the front and the stitching thing on the side. On the other side, I continued the line with a thin line of black. I didn't want to paint it solid black because there was already enough black on this side, so I went for this. And oh boy, is that looking rough. Let's just skip that. It's almost done! I brought out my fabric Mod Podge and began covering the entire thing in a nice clear coat to protect the paint and give it a little shine. I was so excited to finish, and then... Wait, I didn't sign it! Ah! I was so excited that I could not sit still, and I forgot to sign it. I did that, then continued to coat the thing in Mod Podge. Would this come back to bite me in the butt? Yes. I was being very careful not to touch the wet paint. The paint was still wet because I was impatient for it to dry and wanted to get this done. I was so careful, in fact, you can even tell that I left the signature alone. And then, yeah, I forgot, and it smudged. Then I noticed, panicked, and fixed it. You have no idea how freaking happy I am with this. It looks so good. I love the colors, I love the shapes, I love everything. Even with the small mishap at the end there, it still looks fantastic. This video is surprisingly shorter than I had anticipated, but the results are still great. I literally cannot stop talking about how much I love this. But anywho guys, I hope you enjoyed this video because I sure as heck had a ton of fun making it, and you better have a fantabulous rest of your day. Bye!
Oh,